Heidecker, who, man, I feel so bad for Tim Heidecker. We watched his live podcast yesterday. First of all, during the middle of Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric, his live podcast, 400 viewers. This is on YouTube. 400. I can't tell 400. I can't tell you how low that is for somebody like Tim Heidecker. It was sad to see. They had a little webcam set up, completely overexposed. The exposure's going on and off by itself, and it's just this close-up of Tim's head. And he's sitting there, and he's literally just bitching about Trump and Kavanaugh, and really, hurt by this stuff. He really has convinced himself that this is the end of the world. And it went on and on and on for hours. And what he does for hours every day is he just takes calls, and they all, just talk about how bad Trump is. And it's the most basic beginner. No joke. I'm not trying to just discredit these guys for no reason. It's honestly shocking to me. The basicness of the complaints and the repetitiveness, and you tune into Tim Heidecker stuff and you go, surely he's not going to be saying the same thing that he was saying 2 years ago about Trump. And he was. And there's this overwhelming sadness to his face, this depression, this deep, deep, stuck in the mud look. And you go, the guy is so sick. And he's being encouraged by his peers that... You found it. Wow. Mm-hmm. He's being encouraged by his peers that this is the right path to go down. And you go, we're watching a man lose himself to this virus of sorts. And no one's going to pull him out. At least nobody is going to believe. And they're so used to, I was saying stuff in the chat, and his chat is even so used to, Trump trolls that they don't even listen. If I went up to Tim Heidecker and go, man, you don't have to be in this. He would go, oh yeah, what are you, a Trump guy? Yeah. No. I'm really trying to help you. Oh yeah, you would say that. Meanwhile, I'm so sorry, I have to care. And they really are convinced that they're saving the world. So to an average liberal like this, or he's not as bad as Tim Heidecker, of course, but there is no other story. Trump is, to them, Hitler, he's Kim Jong-un, and he's here to destroy the world, and there's only one possibility. We have to get him out of office, and that's why you're seeing this rock the vote thing that's going on now is so crazy. We were watching the American Music Awards last night, and they were coming out and they were promoting voting. And I'm sitting at home and they're going, go out, please get out there and vote. Please, you have to vote. And I'm sitting there pretending I'm in the audience going, for Trump, right? Vote for Trump? And then them, I'm imitating them go, no. But it's okay, then you're just directly telling me to go vote Democratic. And then I start thinking okay, that's what this is, and they're open to that. So for a very long time, research has said that if young people vote, they're mostly going to vote Democratic. So you could just tell them to go vote, and they're going to go vote Democratic. So you don't have to say vote Democratic. You just have to tell young people to vote. Now that's common knowledge, right? That's open public research. Why is that allowed? Why is it okay to peer pressure young people into voting for one person? I found that to be very bizarre. And then I started going down the rabbit hole of it, and I go, wait. They have fully laid out to the young people, too, that if you vote otherwise, you're out. We're done with you. I mean, they've made that perfectly clear over the last 2 years. If you are a Trump supporter, you're not part of our club. So they're putting that in young people's minds. They have been for 2 years. What do you think a young person's going to do? You think a young person is going to go out on a limb and possibly be ostracized from their school, from their group of friends, from what all the celebrities are telling them? So to constantly tell young people to vote, knowing that it's for this one side, is to me, should be against the law. It almost should be against the law, and you're subconsciously telling them that you will be penalized if you do otherwise.
Well, not to sound like Crowder, but don't they always delete people's Twitter's accounts and stuff for influencing the election, and there was Russian
there you go.
meddling.
Talk about influencing the election. Why are celebrities allowed to bully the world into voting Democratic? It just doesn't make sense. That's what all this vote. That's why they don't say who for who. They don't want you voting for Trump. If they knew that most people would go out and vote for Trump, they would be like, do not vote. I just can't believe that's allowed. So to a regular liberal, and this was my point, like those people saying to go vote, they believe. They're in their head, they're not going, I'm going to go do something creepy and spineless. In their head, they're going, I'm saving America. I'm saving humanity against this racist killer who is going to destroy not only the environment, but the people and the Muslims. I'm doing God's work. They truly believe that. And in his head, I think he does too. So Joe Rogan starts ranting about SJWs or Antifa, and you could tell Nick Kroll is like, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, we got the clip. Let's see.
At 3630.
3630.
But it is now. It just feels...
Watch this. And to me, this was like Joe going on an alt-right rant. To Nick Kroll, that's what it would sound like. So 3630? Good. I'm glad you found this so quickly. That was pretty badass. That was pretty trill. Okay, let's watch this.
To get better.
So watch this. Joe forgets that not everybody is used to open conversation.
Freaking out today about what's going on in Portland. There's all these Antifa riots that are happening, and they're blocking traffic.
Really?
Yeah, and people are trying to drive to their job, and the Antifa people are telling them, go right, we're closing the street off. And they got like masks on and shit, and the Portland mayor apparently is not doing anything about it, and they're they're banging on some dude's car because he refused to fucking go right. He wanted to go straight through his street. Like, they were literally directing traffic, and there's all these videos of it where people are freaking out because Portland is it's a great city,
so fun.
It's so overly progressive that you have this section of super far left maniacs that have gathered.
Nick Kroll getting very nervous right now. Super far left maniacs. I've never thought that was our side.
Found a cause, and now they've decided that they're gonna. And these are white people screaming out "fuck white people." The whole thing is so crazy. It's like it's so misguided.
I just want to eat delicious food in Portland. I just want to eat.
Good place for that.
I want to eat.
Whoa, that is let's change the topic. Yeah, Portland's got great food. So to him, he's just like, I'm just sitting there, and Joe goes on an alt-right rant. Like, in his head, and Joe's so stupid, he doesn't realize, like, yeah, most of these guys are pretty much programmed. They've never even heard.
And he's there to promote his show, obviously.
Exactly.
So he doesn't want to get into Antifa talk.
Watch this. It gets even more sticky for Nick Kroll here.
It's so misguided.
I just want to eat delicious food in Portland. I just want to eat,
good place for that.
I want to eat, like, fresh food.
It's a good place for comedy, too.
It is fun. It's a great comedy town. It's
a great town.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's just, when you get a town of millions of people, you're going to have a fucking few thousand assholes. There's just no way around that.
Yeah, everywhere I've gone that, I see find that. The Pacific Northwest is interesting. Just like I found the homeless vibes in Portland, Seattle, and San Francisco. It's intense right now.
Wait, homelessness is a vibe now? I found the homeless vibes to be pretty lit. Pretty chill.
Seattle, or rather San Francisco, has a new app that you can locate human shit on.
Okay. And now, you know what? This awakened Nick Kroll. Now, in Nick Kroll, if you watch the rest of the show, Nick Kroll's like, okay, I got to be on alert and keep giving Joe topics so that he doesn't go back to this alt-right stuff in his head.
And then he's on fire for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Well, yeah, and then it really put Nick Kroll on his feet. He doesn't want to be caught in that. So I found that to be interesting, that they've never even considered that there's a problem on the left, some of these people. Really, that's how small of a bubble that they're in. They don't even think that's a possibility. Like, if you brought that up to Kamal, he'd be like, oh, yes, we're fighting the Nazis right now. There's really no time to, worry about them. So, very great stuff. Great stuff.